What is up, everybody? We are back after a 1 week break, and it's good to be back. I missed you guys. I don't know if y'all missed me. I know I wasn't on the last show, but
It's quiet without you.
yeah, because I wasn't talking shit. But we are a very special friend from Seattle, and we'll start the show like we normally do with a little ASMR, especially because now I have a whole restock of these bad boys.
I gotta
Dude,
find
I'm
some,
jealous.
man. I don't know where
I'm
they at.
so jealous right now.
Dude,
When
I sold
when I saw
out.
your post.
I sold out an entire HEB just to get these. So let's get this. Let's get us into this. Hold on.
You go first.
Oh yeah.
Already popped mine.
So
Uh,
when I took my son to soccer practice
Cheers,
like
guys.
2 weeks ago, and I had to go to HEB. Well, HEB is a grocery store here in Texas.
Right.
And so I've spoken with Alamo Beer about it. They said, hey, we're not making these cans anymore until it gets closer to the season. So whatever you find out in the wild, that's all there is. Well, I go and there's a beer section there, and they have one row full of these beers. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I wasn't planning on buying beer after my son's soccer practice. So I go and I was like, let me just get what I can in my hands. I got 4. And then I kid you not, I went back like an hour later after I had showered and everything, sold the rest of the place out. I'm like, I'm taking them all.
Heck yeah.
That should carry me over to the rest of the season or off season.
Well, I don't think they have them at every location.
How many did you
'cause I
get
don't
on
think we
your,
have
on
one
your
here.
haul?
Damn.
Golly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They like what, $3, $4 a pop?
$3.27.
Yeah.
Woo!
So
Well,
it was,
enough about beer.
yeah, enough about
It's a good
beer.
beer, though. Good beer.
But let's introduce our guest. Why don't we'll hand the ball over to you? You know, give you a chance to introduce yourself. Tell the good fans of San Antonio who you are, where you come from, why you're wearing a dragon's head,
I got a dragon body.
and the
Oh.
My name's Charles. I'm from Tacoma, Washington, and I'm a Seattle Sea Dragon ticket holder. And this is my dragon hat. I'm just going to wear it for a minute. I'm going to take it off and put my regular baseball cap on here in a minute because the XFL is it's a spring league, and here up north it's very cold. So originally I started wearing this, and I got one for my son as well because it's really cold.
Yeah.
And it rains, and it was a great way to stay warm.
Heck yeah.
So, but on a day like today where I'm inside, I've only had it on for a couple minutes and I'm already sweating. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off,
The reveal.
put my regular hat.
Hey, that's a good mask though, because you can still talk, you can still drink. That's the
Oh, yeah,
common
yeah.
thing everyone has issues with. Like, how can I still drink my beer?
I can't tell you.
Yeah, I don't have that issue.
Especially
And,
our guy Rig Rocker from Houston. He's like, my biggest problem with my mask is I can't drink beer.
Oh, there you go. That's
wear it right on
There you
top of
go.
the hat.
Even better. That's perfect.
convert it.
It's-
So is that like a
multi-purpose.
sea serpent? Is that a sea serpent?
It's just a dragon. Just a, you know.
I mean, it looks like
regular-
it. Looks like the head.
Yep.
Hmm.
And the mouth opens and closes. So
Do you have anything else that goes with your costume, or is it just your
a sushi roll, maybe.
a sushi roll? You have
yeah.
a tail?
No, I got the jerseys. You know, I got the jerseys.
Oh, yeah, tell us about
the
that.
jerseys, shirts.
Looks like an impressive collection back there.
Yep, I got quite a few. This one here at the beginning of the season, they didn't really have Sea Dragons jerseys, but you know, I wanted to make it look like it, so I got this one here online. It's a Bobby Boucher Waterboy jersey, which happens to be Seattle Sea Dragons colors too. I'm a pretty big guy. It doesn't look like it, you know, because I'm in this small computer right now. But I'm about 6'4", about 240 pounds.
Sheesh.
So I'm a pretty big
It's a
guy.
lineman right there.
Yeah, so a lot of people at first they asked me how I got a jersey, and I told them I play for the team on the weekends.
The way to do it.
Good one.
And my son, you know, he went to a bunch of the games with me too, and he's tall too. He's 16, but he's 6 foot, but he's about 100. He's about 160 pounds, so he's pretty thin.
Wide receiver.
I told him,
He'll fill out.
he'll fill out. That's what I told him to, you know. So
I wish I weighed that much at 16 years old. Shoot,
you know,
265 pounds at 16 years old.
What,
yeah, exactly.
what else you
Don't
got
let
back
your
there?
son get to the.
What else you got back there?
Oh, I got all kinds of jerseys. I got this one right here. This is my pride and joy for us today.
Oh, I hear it. I hear the cat.
Uh-oh.
Yep, there's the cat. This is my number 54 D Johnson jersey, and I'll try and get it up close. If you take a look at the number 4, I don't know if you guys know who
Oh, that's a
Jawan
collector
Green.
right there.
There we go.
Number 4 from the Sea Dragons, Jawan Green. I actually,
Oh, Jawan Green.
I was sitting in the area where I'm at is some of the family members sit as well.
Oh, nice. That's always good.
And I ended up, talking to a guy, and I didn't know he's related to him. And one time he's like, "Hey, you want to walk down the field and get your jersey signed?" It was my son and I was like, "Sure." And he just walked us down.
That's
Got to meet a couple
awesome.
of players.
Heck yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, this is my brother," you know. And it was Jawan Green, and he signed my jersey. He's like, "Can I sign the number 4? Because his number is number 4." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah.
You know.
Now,
So yeah, it's pretty fun, interesting experience.
now my very first NFL experience was actually at Lumen Field back when I think it was called Quest Field at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming you've been to a Seahawks game there, or
Oh yeah, of
okay.
course.
So how would you say the experience of a Seahawks game and going, to that versus obviously there's a big difference because, NFL versus XFL and stuff like that, but just from a fan interaction
experience,
standpoint, because I feel like if you try doing that, what you just explained at a Seahawks game, you would get tackled and then you'd have to get bailed out of jail.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So I mean, how would you say like the fan interaction experience compares for being a local Seattle native, like when you go to a Seahawks game versus when you go to a Sea Dragons game?
Well, the first difference is, and it's the obvious one. I've been to lots of Seahawks games, but the price point.
Oh yeah.
I got season tickets right off the 50-yard line, right behind the team, for about the same prices, for the whole season, for the same price as one Seahawk game, and I got 2. Wow! So the price, I mean, you just can't beat it. Not only that, season ticket holder, I'm going down there, every game I'm at the game. Some of the security guys that work there, they worked in the same area. So I go, they knew who I was, people, like I said, I started wearing the dragon mask going, people started recognizing me. When you go to a Seahawks game, it's packed. Nobody knows who you are. I felt it was kind of like the show Cheers. I show up, and everybody in our area, like everybody around me knew who we were. It was more of an intimate experience.
Yeah.
The other thing is during the Dragons games, sometimes you could just walk around. You just walk around to other areas. And I don't know about where you guys are, but in Seattle during a Seahawks game, like if you're in the upper section, they won't let you come down to
You
the
gotta stay down there. Yeah, stay up there.
you
Yeah.
have tickets. You got to show tickets to even go down to the 100 level. It's like I could walk around the 100 level. I could walk up to the top level. I could just go anywhere I wanted. It's pretty nice. It's just is an experience. And like I said, I got to bring my son. He's not much of a sports fan. But he's really shy. He's really introverted, and it was really good watching him come to the games and see him get excited and cheer. And a couple of times he's like screaming and he's like looking around like, am I doing this right? It's kind of cool, So I've got a daughter. I brought my daughter to a game. I brought my son to a game. I brought my girlfriend to a game. This next year, I'll probably even bring my wife. But
No, you didn't.
Hey, ding,
That's how
ding,
they roll
ding,
in
ding, ding.
Seattle.
Exclusive. It's exclusive right here. Exclusive content.
Yep.
First time.
I've already got my season tickets for this next year. I don't know. Don't want to put too many spoilers out. But we got a lot more stuff going on. I'm hoping that the league expands. I'm really excited about it. It's kind of cool, having an opportunity to be in on something like this at an early stage is, I mean, it's an amazing thing. It's a great feeling to be a part of that. Imagine if you could be part of the first season of the NFL,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
look where it is
Absolutely.
now.
No, that's how I felt too. Like, did you get a chance to like watch the teams getting formed, like when they did the draft, like online? Were
Yep.
you watching it
Mhm.
happen? That's kind of how I felt too. Is like, I'm like, we're from ground zero, watching all these teams get built out and seeing how it's gonna like unfold. So I understand that completely.
Well, here in the Seattle Tacoma area, like I said, Tacoma is, we're about 30 to 40 minutes south of Seattle, and you guys probably heard of the Seattle Mariners.
Mhm.
They're our major league team, and the minor league team for this area is Tacoma Rainiers, and their stadium's right down the street from mine.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid growing up, I used to go to the Rainiers games. I used to love collecting baseball cards. Thought it was pretty cool, and it was really cool when I could go to the the stadium here for the Rainiers. They call it the home of the $5 ticket. So it's a $5 baseball game. You go to it and you get to see the minor league players. And then, you collect baseball cards and you start going, oh, wow, I used to watch this guy play, and now he got bumped up to the major leagues, and it was kind of cool watching people develop in their career and become, amazing players. And my kind of hope is the same thing happened with the XFL. I know that's what they're going for, is they want these players to get, that may not have got a chance to get drafted or were undrafted, get a chance to work their way back up. And a lot of times I think that it was more of a fast-paced game watching, the Dragons. It's a faster pace.
It is.
I feel like it's just exciting. It's just really exciting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, would you say that it is comparable to maybe like a Sounders game as far as excitement goes? I mean, crowd wise, or I know Lumen Field usually sells out, so it's kind of hard to compete with like 80,000 fans or however many fit in there versus what the Sea Dragons are doing. But I mean, I know the Sounders play there as well. Would you say that's comparable to that or a Mariners game?
Well, I haven't been to a Sounders game, but during the same springtime league, we have a hockey team called the Kraken.
Okay, yeah.
And they're a brand new team also. So that was one of the things that had a lot of buzz, because I have some friends that are hockey fans, and they go to a Kraken game and then they come right over. They're right next to the stadiums, are right by each other. If you've ever been in Seattle, they're all right in the small.
They're right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. So you just come from the Kraken game over at, Climate Pledge Arena, just walk over and then just come right in and watch the Dragons play. I mean, and the Kraken, they're in their initial season too. I think they're on their second season last year. So they're still, Seattle is a big market for sports teams, and it's growing like huge. And it's amazing to watch the growth. And you see, people start catching that fever. And that's one of the things I'm hoping, like stuff like this, these podcasts, get the word out. I think the XFL has done a good job of promoting, but I think they could do better, and I think they could be a lot bigger when more people know. Because when I started wearing my Dragons jersey, still I wear my Dragons hat. A lot of people think it's Broncos. Like, are you wearing a Broncos?
Yeah.
They're like, seriously? I'm like, no, it's Seattle Sea Dragons. People are like, I just had a guy. I've been at my job for 21 years. We had a new guy, and I wore my Dragons hat. He's like, what are the Dragons? I was like,
Yeah.
So I explained it to him, and I work in a steel mill. He's a younger guy. He's got some young kids, and I told him, I said, it's an amazing experience. It's the same. Lumen Field is the same place that the Seahawks play. It's the exact same thing. You go to the stadium, you watch the teams. I think it's a faster paced game. You can get close to the action. It's just an experience like none other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I guess, just to kind of get a general pulse of the fan base out there. I mean, I hate to, we all know the merger is in the works and stuff like that, but
Right.
Obviously it's up in the air. Nobody knows unless you're either working for the government or one of the head honchos. But what's the general pulse of the fan base from at least from your perspective or from who you've interacted with, as far as the Dragons still being around, or do you think they'll be part of the merger? Do you guys think you're gonna be left out? Because I know there's other teams that have that concern. So kind of what's the pulse of the fan base up there in Seattle?
I think it's a mix. I think there's some people that, like myself, I feel very confident that they're going to keep the Dragons. You know what I mean? We had an amazing season last year. We didn't have the best attendance of any team, but again, like I said, we're competing with the Kraken for ticket sales.
The
We're
weather
also not as well known. They're becoming more and more known. The team's getting bigger. Seattle, like I said, is a huge sports market. It's a huge sports market. And if you take a look at any other team in any other sport, what's the nearest major sports team? There's not, the Portland Trailblazers.
Portland, yeah.
I mean, that's it for any other professional sports. I mean, you got to go to California, you got to go 2-3 states to the next major team.
college. Yeah.
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 Well, college.
Well, Washington up there balling. So
Yeah.
the Huskies.
Yep. Yeah. The Huskies are doing good right now too.
So what made you become a fan?
Maybe become a fan was just it was kind of happenstance, to be honest. I seen some things for the XFL online. I started looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, we got a team here in Seattle." I was like, "That's cool." And there was a little box. I clicked a box like, "Hey, I'd like more information."
Click the box, sign up, get the email alerts.
I was like, "Yeah, I got the email alerts." Next thing I know, I literally was. They sent me a thing like, "You're interested in buying season tickets?" I was like, I was like, I don't know. And then they sent me a price sheet. And I looked at it and I was like, that can't be right.
Can't beat it.
I was like, that can't be right. So, and I waited. I was like, this is a scam. This is like one of those scams. Like, someone's scamming me, right?
This is a scam.
Then I got a phone call from one of the reps, from the Sea Dragons, and they were like, hell yeah, it's real. The season's going to happen. We're going to do it. That's the actual prices. And I was like, I want better seats then if those are the prices. I want to be down by the action. I was like, how much? And I was like, it's still that cheap. I mean, I was like, yeah. I was like, I got 2 seats. I'm like I said, I'm right off the 50-yard line, right behind home team. I mean, it's there. You can't beat it, man. You can't.
So, are you smack dab in on a 50?
Yep. I'm section 135 in row L, seats 1 and 2.
Yeah, go look at it.
Yeah.
So
we
how many rows are you behind the field?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K,
there you go.
L,
Okay,
10.
cool.
I'm 10 seats back.
So where? Let me ask you this: where were you 2020?
2020. I was not. I was probably working in Alaska. I'm a steel worker, and I used to do a lot of traveling. That's why I asked where you guys are from, because I've traveled all over the U.S. I've been a lot of places.
I traveled too.
I worked for a while. I spent a bunch of time. I don't know if you guys have heard of a town called Mesquite, right outside of Dallas.
Oh, like the flavor.
Yep.
No, it's an actual town. It's an actual town.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just saying. That's when I hear mesquite, I'm
it's
thinking
like
about
the wood.
Let me smoke.
It's
something.
the wood.
Also, type of
Mesquite.
wood from a tree.
Yeah, that's what I would have
yeah.
said.
The
The
flavor.
wood is what gives it the flavor.
Yeah.
There you go. See.
Yeah.
The flavor.
Let me ask you, like, I know.
Hey, let me work, man. Let me work.
I know here in town we had a lot of like little things that happened during the season, like meet and greets and stuff. Did you guys get the same kind of experience there in Seattle? Like, I know a lot of ours were like
They had a ton.
very last minute.
Yeah. I don't want to say ours were last minute, but I know that I think they could have been organized a little better.
Yeah, that's probably
Because they
better.
sent out an email at the beginning of the season saying that they were going to send out more emails and you could sign up. But I never got another email to sign up. And I showed up at one game and I was like, hey, I never got an email. What do I got to do to get an email? And they're like, well, you'll get an email. You just need to. And finally,
You'll get it. Just wait.
And again, like I said, I'm kind of a big guy, and I think I kind of scared the guy a little bit because I walked up to him and sitting behind the table, and I said, "Look, man," I said, "you need to put me on the list." I was like, "I'm a season ticket holder. You guys never sent me an email." I was like, "It's a stadium. You got room. You got room for me and my son to go back there right now." And he said,
He said right now.
hold on.
All he heard was.
He signed it up, and he called a girl over. And he says, "Yeah, go ahead and take them out on the field. Let them meet the team." They just took me out, and so I did the same thing the next game too.
with no email.
No email.
Where's that email y'all said?
I never got the email, but I did get to go do the fan experience a couple of times. I got to bring my son out. We got to watch the team practice and warm up. It was real. Got to see Jawan Green again. I feel like Ja'Cour Pearson, he got a lot more of shine, but I was kind of a Jawan Green fan. He was a very clutch player for us.
So the experiences you're talking about are the ones that was like before the game. What about the ones like offsite, like that was like like the meetups and stuff?
Did you guys have any of those?
Yeah, we had some meetups, but I didn't have the opportunity to do it. I work a lot, so a lot of the meetups that they had were during times that I had to work or travel or things like that. So I wasn't able to. I wanted to go to
1:45 in the afternoon.
Yeah, well, they had one of them that was right down the street from where I live in Tacoma. I live right by the mall, and they had one of them that was right by the mall, and I wanted to go to it at Dick's Sporting Goods. And they had some players that were there, I
think we had one of those too.
Yeah.
I had to pay bills,
Yeah.
Hey.
Yep.
So
Then I would imagine it's also a little bit more difficult for the players in Seattle because they have to fly over there from Arlington, whereas our players just have to take the bus down. So it's a little bit of a slightly shorter travel distance.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I'd imagine, it's a little bit more difficult, with the logistics and all that, with the having the team travel and stuff. But I'm glad that you guys were able to at least get that. And are you familiar with Mr. Mayer?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Times.
I feel like I see him at as many games like that are not Sea Dragons games as I do when I imagine he's at Sea Dragons games. So I would imagine he's a pretty well-known figure over there.
Yeah, he travels to the away games too. There's some other fans that do that as well. There's a couple of there's a couple of pages on Facebook and stuff where there's some other bigger fans than myself, and the Mayor's one of them. So yeah, it's pretty. He's a pretty big guy too. He's not as tall as me, but he's even with this top hat, he's still not as tall as me. But you can't miss him because he always wears all orange and he's got a big orange top hat.
Yeah, and he could throw down some brisket. I tell you that when he was here in San Antonio, he threw down some brisket.
You got Reed too. Reed, one of the big fans too.
Yep.
I think he do the podcast, the Markcast. So.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the tailgating like up there before the games?
The tailgating, I don't know that much because, like I said, I'm a season ticket holder. We get early access to the stadium. We come in, like I said, I went and I told him I didn't get the email. I want to go out and watch them practice. So, I wasn't really tailgating. I was out on the field watching players play. So I know some friends that said that, they've tailgated out too, but I know that right outside of Lumen Field, there's several bars and they have outside open seating. And from the stadium, you can look out and see that a lot of them there's a ton of people just sitting outside too.
Yeah. So is it more like kind of an offsite, like the local places kind of hanging out there before the game, more as like in the parking lot, barbecue pits and all that stuff going?
Like I said, there's several restaurants that line the street. It's kind of like all around the stadium because there's you have Lumen Field, you have Safeco Field, and then you have Climate Pledge Arena that are all like in a very close vicinity. So there's a lot of outdoor vendors that are there. There's food trucks that are out there out in the parking lot. So it's not as I don't know of the tailgating scene as much, but I know that I can go anywhere in the stadium and look out, and there's people outside the stadium, watching the game. There's people sitting out on tables, restaurants, hanging out, going. There's people that also stadium hop. I got one of my coworkers and a friend of mine. He would go to the Kraken game, then he would come over, go watch the Dragons game, and then sometimes after that, go over to Safeco Field, and whatever they had going on there. They had a concert one night right after the Dragons game. So
That's awesome.
So they don't tailgate. That's the answer.
Yeah,
They don't tailgate.
well, they might tailgate. I don't know. You know?
Were you interested in going to the championship game or no? You got to work.
We were close to being in the championship game.
Well, I'm saying like even if your team wasn't there, like this past championship game, were you interested? Like, oh, I want to go to that game, or you just like, no, my team not playing, so I'm not going.
No, I mean, we have a casino here in Tacoma called the Emerald Queen Casino. Hopefully they pay.
Oh, you bet on the game?
But it's a huge casino. It's like nearly as big as a Vegas casino, but they actually have like a huge like room with like, I don't even know, it's like stupid big TV, and they got like recliners and stuff. Probably seats like 200.
So you stay home and watch the game.
That's what it's in the casino, and they got a restaurant, a bar, and everything. And so like when they had the away games, they would have stuff there at the casino. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty awesome. I went to one of them. I'm not much of a gambler, so but it was pretty cool because I got to go. And like I said, it was pretty packed there too.
Hey, it's all good not being a gambler because I the one time I gambled when I went to Vegas, I lost $200 on the Brahmas.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Vegas. I've been in a lot of trouble in Vegas.
I remember that bet.
Yeah.
So, I know, there's teams that, people tend to hate on the Battlehawks. Arlington, like I feel like everybody universally hates them except for this guy right here. What team do you hate? If you had to pick a team, you're like, man, I just do not like that team
DC
at all.
There you go. He just nailed on the head.
DC.
DC's
that's the rival.
Yeah, DC's the only reason why we if we would have beat DC one time, we would have been in the championship game.
No.
But DC beat us twice. So DC beat us twice, and I don't hate them.
Your fellow Sea Dragon says the same thing.
Yeah,
it's a rival, man. They beat y'all. Yep. They beat y'all the first game both years, 2020 year and 2022 year. They beat y'all the first game.
Hey, they took our shot too, didn't they?
They beat us at home.
They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves.
Yeah,
so.
technically.
We lost by two. We lost by two inches to the right.
Yep.
We lost by an ice.
Yeah. Well, you guys got to remember something else too, and it's like I've heard some people throw some salt at the Battlehawks, but let's be honest, the Battlehawks played some amazing football, and they had one of the craziest fan bases. They sold out their stadium almost every time, and that is amazing.
Oh man, Jay would be love to fight with you right now about that.
It's crazy because I know you said you guys got the Kraken and everything changed for you guys this past spring, but what I did notice was 2020 you guys was like averaging like 28,000, 27,000, 29,000 and stuff. Now you come here this past season, I think you guys was averaging like 12,000, 13,000, 14,000 somewhere around there.
Yeah,
but that just shows like and I know you said that's a sports town, but that just shows like I guess I want to say like if whatever the team is hot, because I think the Kraken was in the playoffs at that time too.
Yep, exactly.
So I guess whatever teams is hot, they will probably jump to it, and then it's probably hard to support a XFL team where it's like they wasn't doing like the Kraken was doing. So. Yeah. Do you think that's a big thing in Seattle? Oh, go ahead.
I said, were there a lot of like competing game times between the Sea Dragons and the Kraken?
Yep. Yeah. The Sea Dragons and the Kraken were playing at the same time a lot. And that's what I said about advertising. Every channel, everything that you flipped on the TV, there was a commercial for the Kraken. They didn't have that same they didn't have the same advertising.
But I think the XFL failed as a whole with that because
that was
we didn't get a lot of local, on TV, like how all of the area like Spurs and here that like it's just not the same.
Yeah,
I think the XFL the first year they tried to rely on a lot of homegrown, fan created, marketing and stuff like that. Like they didn't put a whole lot into the outside, which is good and kind of build a real strong foundation for the fans. But we see a lot of the, like you said, you saw advertisements for the Kraken all over the place. You didn't see any for the Sea Dragons. Same thing here.
Yep.
It was a lot of homegrown marketing that we were just,
Word of mouth,
just
too.
the fans were doing on our own.
Yeah.
A lot of TikToking, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
we had
TikTok.
We had a lot of social media. I seen a lot of Facebook, Instagram.
Mhm.
There was some stuff on there, but but they just didn't have the, I don't know the word you'd use for it, but there wasn't nothing on the news.
There was no energy. There was no
The
energy.
marketing wasn't strong. Like
Yeah.
when you look back at 2020, they was marketing like crazy, and they spent a lot of money on marketing. This time around, they didn't spend a lot of marketing, and they relied on word of mouth. So maybe they could turn it around.
The other thing that the Dragons had going on too was
The
they kind of
schedule
had
was terrible.
they had a weird schedule too.
Man.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah.
It was.
We had all the holidays.
So, like here in San Antonio, Easter is a really big holiday that families have traditions that go back, almost 100 years in some cases. And so Easter, and it's being San Antonio, it's a very religious city. So Easter's kind of the day like you don't touch Easter,
But
and
they did.
but they
did.
they had a game on Easter.
And
Like
high
8
school
o'clock, I think,
excellence.
right?
Yeah,
I think
so
it was
a lot,
8 o'clock.
oh no, that wasn't the
That was
Easter
okay.
game.
I think it's like
No,
4
But
or
there,
3
and there
o'clock.
was another game that we were playing against Arlington, that was supposed to start at 9 o'clock at
9,
night
got
on a
moved up.
Sunday, and it was the Sunday that was leading out of spring break, so the kids had to go to school the next day. So it wasn't like the kids like, oh, we can just keep them and stay up late or whatever. No, it's like, oh no, we got school the next day. They were kind enough to flex us an hour to get to start at 8 on a Sunday instead of 9. So I remember, I got home at around midnight that night, and it was brutal. Like, I mean, the scheduling was brutal.
And I
then
think
there,
go ahead.
I'll say, and then the last game against DC, playoffs on the line. There's a big implications. And what do? They kick us out of the Alamo Dome parking lot because we have a local celebration here called Fiesta, and they have a carnival in the parking lot of the Alamo Dome, and the people who run it said, well, we want the parking lot for parking, so they kicked us out. They didn't let us park there, and we had to find somewhere else to tailgate. And sure enough, when we go to enter the game, the parking lot is empty because no one's at the carnival. And I'm like, y'all could have just like worked together and like made money, both of y'all. But no,
Yeah.
I mean, but and at least here in San Antonio, we're stubborn like the Bulls we are, and we found a way. But the scheduling was rough to kind of work around. And now, I mean, it's still up in the air because there's so many variables and questions about everything changing and stuff. So that's it's a valid concern to have. I mean, with you working, you say you work a lot, is that something that is kind of you're concerned with for next year as far as like, hey, can I even make the games or?
No, I'm not. I'm pretty blessed. I've been in my job for over 21 years. I just got to see the days I want off.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that's even better.
Seniority.
Yeah, it's the seniority.
Be like, I'll see you tomorrow, boss, or I'll see you Tuesday.
We gotta go to this game. I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow.
Well, for last season, I was the boss. I was the floor supervisor. So it's like,
Oh, there you go.
Good.
There you go.
so I'm
So you just told him I'm not going to be here. Y'all figure it out.
yeah, pretty much. He's like,
Look in the mirror. And can I have a day off? Of course you can, handsome. Go ahead.
pretty much. That was almost how it worked, but close.
Yeah, but I felt bad for those guys that was on the East Coast time, man. And y'all games, even when y'all games start like at 6 o'clock, the East Coast game started at 9. Like I'm like, oh man, that's crazy. Like this. So I think all around scheduling was terrible. They definitely got to do better with that because I think y'all was the only team. Yeah, y'all was the only team on that Pacific time, right? Was Vegas on?
Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay,
Vegas.
But I think Vegas games was a lot. All their games pretty much was early in the day. With Seattle, they did y'all crazy Thursday night games. That was crazy.
I said, weren't y'all the only ones that had Thursday night games?
I don't know. I didn't really look at the other schedules
so.
that much. I just know.
I know we,
Well, whoever
we
they
didn't have
played
any
had Thursday
games.
night games, so it has to be another
Well,
team.
Yeah.
They didn't play themselves.
Mhm.
Well, that's true. that is true. But I think he made like on that time zone that was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Well, the other thing.
You know what I mean, Jackie? Come on now.
Now, as you've talked about a couple of players, and I think the most popular player for you guys, at least league wide, was
the Gooch.
Gucci Danucci.
Right. Gucci Danucci.
Did you get a
Peasy.
chance?
Peasy was good too.
Mhm.
Peasy.
Did you get a chance to meet the Gooch?
I got close to him a couple of times, but
I got close to him.
pretty-
I was in his bubble
Yeah.
space.
he's a pretty popular guy. I mean, you could definitely. I mean, a lot of people throw a lot of salt, saying, we would have done better if it wasn't for him. But I think we would have done worse if it wasn't for him.
He did. He was he was like Brett Favre, a gunslinger.
That's what I say too. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I say. He was a gunslinger. He goes out there, he throws the ball, he makes his receivers work, and that's exciting. That's exciting football to watch.
Yeah.
When you got a quarterback that's just chucking long balls, and he's like, "Go get it, guys!" And you got people downfield fighting, And I mean, to me, that's good football. That is good. Like back when Brett Favre was a quarterback for Green Bay, everybody watched those games. I'm a Seahawks fan. Look, I don't know if you know, but Seahawks got a little bit of their roots in Green Bay. We had Mike Holmgren for a while, and he was basically Matt Hasselbeck was Brett Favre's understudy.
You're talking his language right now.
Yeah, but everybody liked to watch Brett Favre for the very reason he goes out there, he just throws the ball, and it's exciting, to be honest. That's one of the things I liked about the XFL too, was conservative football gets boring sometimes. You watch it and it's like, it's 3rd and 10, it's like they're going to throw the ball. They're not going to try and run on 3rd and 10, XFL, you never know.
Yeah, they kind of. I mean, the way the league rules are structured, they kind of force you to have to play aggressive.
Yeah.
The 4th and 15 rule at the fourth quarter, which we got the stink end of that.
We did too.
Overtime rules. I mean, honestly, for me, overtime rules, that is the closest. I mean, as far as overtime in any sport, I think the one that is the most anxiety inducing when it's a team that I care about is soccer. I mean, penalty shootouts, it's like this can go either way. And the XFL designed their overtime to be modeled after a soccer style penalty shootout, just playing football. And we got to see the Brahmas do that twice, and both times like you could just feel everybody's butthole clenched in the Alamo Dome.
Whoa.
Brady was hard.
Yeah. It was just like, oh my God. And
we all clenched together.
Yeah, it
exactly.
was all tight.
No. I'm not a part of that.
That's because you're an Arlington fan.
Of all the XFL rule changes and stuff, I do think that overtime was my favorite. Exactly like you said, right? Just the excitement and just what every play means something for them. So I love it. Being in the dome during that overtime game was exactly like you said. So it was the perfect rule change for them.
I think the fourth, what it was, 4th and 15, that took the world by storm because there were a lot of people that went to our first game. We played the Battlehawks, and they all said
what the hell
left.
is going on here?
They said they left because they was like, "Oh, the game over."
Yeah, the Battlehawks that came down from St. Louis left.
Yep.
I was like, see, that's why you shouldn't leave because they didn't know about the rules. They was like, I thought it was over with.
I mean, the Brahmas did too. I mean, some of our fans did too because they thought we had it in the bag. They're like, all right, we can get out.
Yeah.
A lot of people said they went home and they looked at the score. They was like, wait, we lost?
Yeah.
How we lose? I was like, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy experience for us, for me in particular.
I think the XFL in general keeps it because they keep the clock ticking except at the 2-minute warning.
Right.
So it's like, it's like anything can happen. And here's the thing, and this is what I liked about Ben DiNucci. Back to DiNucci, he gets out there, he starts slinging the ball. It's like defense gets tired from running downfield a lot. Eventually somebody gets open or somebody gets picked off. It's like whenever there's a big play, whether it's made by offense or defense, people get excited. People get.
Y'all had June Jones too, so he's a big air out type of coordinator. So.
Oh yeah. So
how did you feel about DiNucci, like kind of his trash talking and kind of the way I loved it.
Johnny football style.
I love it.
Yeah.
The nice thing is I think some of the things on the media, like I said, I was right there behind the sidelines, and I know that there was some stuff that was kind of in the media a little bit after about him and some of his own players getting into it. And I was there on the sideline. I didn't see none of that. You know what I mean? I didn't see none of that. But and I'm right there. So I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it didn't seem like it. There was a lot of fast pace. There was a lot of moving. There was a lot of shaking. I just thought it was pretty awesome. I felt like he got the team pumped up. He got them amped up.
Yeah.
He was good at it. The receivers, like the whole offense, man. They vibed really well, in my opinion. They just clicked on all cylinders. They were going out catching the ball. He's throwing the ball. I mean, we had a decent run game. It wasn't a great, but I don't think anybody really in the XFL had a great run game. I feel like the XFL was all about just throwing the ball.
I don't know. Our run game was kind of solid.
We had a good run game.
We had a good run game.
It was a necessity.
It's just our passing game. Our passing game.
We didn't have a very good blocking game.
Yeah.
So I remember the game when DiNucci was coming off the field and they bleeped out whatever he said, but like basically trash talking Josh Gordon off the field.
Yeah.
Do you know what he said? Because I've tried to find what he actually said, and I haven't been able to.
I don't know what they said, but I know that there was a couple of plays. I played high school football, and I felt like Josh Gordon, what we used to call him in high school football, I felt like he sloughed a couple plays. Now, I don't know what happened between and sloughing a play is when you're supposed to run your route and you don't. They snap the ball and you just kind of walk out because either you don't want to play or you're out of gas. Now, I don't know if Josh Gordon was out of gas, or because like I said, they're throwing the ball every play. Maybe he's an older player, and I'm not saying he was out of gas, but at some point, he didn't go out for a couple of he didn't run his routes the way he was supposed to, and I think DiNucci got mad, and that happens with everyone.
I'm just curious. I mean, they even after that game, they were connected and they were fine. I've always wanted to know what exactly he said when he was running off the field because they bleeped it out.
Yeah, I don't know what they said either. I was right there, but I didn't hear what he said.
It's football.
Yeah, it's football, and I mean, sometimes
they want to win. Gucci wanted to win. Josh Gordon, he wanted to win. I mean, he probably was high too, but I mean, he wanted to win.
BD just wants to tee.
But, yeah,
but I mean, if you take a look at the stats, Josh Gordon can be mad all he wants. He got the ball a lot. He got a lot of play time.
Yeah.
Ja'Cour Pearson, like I said, Juwan Green. I mean, DiNucci's.
Y'all had a hell of a passing game, man. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah. Well, I think the best thing is he spread the ball out. He wasn't just throwing to one player. He was spreading the ball out. Everybody got it. Everybody got a chance, and I think that's what made their offense so effective is the way he spread it around too.
Oh, look, y'all had Philip Lindsay too.
Yep. Yeah.
Y'all started coming along towards the end, though. I mean,
he came in the last 2 or 3 games of the season.
You know what? The guy that got hurt was doing pretty good. I can't remember his name. The running back that he got hurt, and then they picked him. He was doing really good.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a couple.
I can't remember his name either. But
he was leading. I think he was leading the week with rushing yards. I can't remember his name, but he got hurt. And he was nice. I was like, oh man.
Well, I was there at the game. He got hurt, and he played the rest of the game too. He just, he was out.
Yep. He was hurt.
He was out after that. He was still crushing it while he was hurt. You can see him out there. He was limping past guys. I was like, dang, this guy's hardcore. And now I feel bad because I can't remember his name.
So I guess for next season, we're as of right now, it's business as usual. We can expect the same teams we saw last year to play. Vegas, who knows where, but we can expect them to play. But as far as you and your fandom, can we expect any changes? Should we look for something different when ESPN puts the camera on you?
I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I think that the expansion. I hope it becomes a thing. I mean, it's going to take everything to it's going to make it a bigger league. There's going to be more players. There's going to be more competition. And I think it's only good things are going to happen. They say strength in numbers.
Yes, sir.
And I don't think Seattle's going anywhere. Seattle's way too big of a sports market. Way too big of a sports market.
I agree.
People forget things that here in the Northwest, like you guys have heard of Amazon, right?
Yeah.
That's from here. Boeing airplanes are from here. Microsoft is here. Nintendo of America is here. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of stuff is here. It's one of the fastest growing places to be. And I think that anybody that would leave this area with a sports team, they got a lump on their head. They should probably get it checked.
Yeah, we should talk to our not so much friends in Oklahoma City about that, because they should still be in Seattle, in my opinion.
Yep. Well,
Yep.
Nobody here liked that. So
yeah, we here as Spurs fans agree with you. Oklahoma City does not deserve a team.
Yeah. I love the Sonics, man. That was a travesty to basketball.
I don't think that Oklahoma didn't deserve a team. I just think we didn't deserve to lose a team for them to get one.
That too. No, but
I think everybody needs a team to root for.
Isn't the expansion? I thought the expansion is coming back.
Yeah,
everybody get a team in Seattle.
Yeah, they keep saying that.
I've been hearing that for the last 10 years.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And every year, up in Seattle,
Jackie's like, I'm done with this conversation.
It's 11 years now.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, every year there's like something going on. They get some sort of levy to pass to bring back an NBA team, and it just
wait. Ain't y'all getting a WNBA team?
We've had a WNBA
they
team.
Have one.
They have one. Okay. Yeah, the Seattle Storm championship.
Okay. One of these cities getting. It was Golden State. I think they getting a WNBA team.
Yep. Yeah, we had the. We've had a WNBA.
What's it called? The girls.
The Seattle Storm.
Storm. Okay.
Yeah. So we had the Super Sonics and then the Seattle Storm. So Storm stayed, Sonics left.
Well, Tar, we are getting close to the top of the hour. We want to thank you so much for spending part of your Friday night with us.
Yes.
So go see Dragons.
Feel free to do your shameless plugs. If you have any social media that you want to put out there that you want people to follow you. If not, that's totally fine too. We understand privacy and all that, but the floor is yours if you want to let people know, hey, where can we find you?
Hey, well,
best uniforms in the league too.
Social media mogul, so I'm not that worried about that. But I would like people, tune in to the XFL, USFL, UFL, whatever they're gonna call it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. Like someone just said in the comments, breathe fire. That's right, breathe fire. Right. It's like it's going to be a great season. It's just going to be a blast. It's going to be fun. That's all it is. Everybody wants to have fun, right? That should be that should be their new logo. Everybody wants to have fun.
That's right.
There you go. Stamp it. Put it on the shirt for somebody to take it.
There you go.
That's yours.
And just for our other co-host who's in the green room, can you just repeat what you had said about the Battlehawks and how much you respect them?
Oh, can he hear this?
He can hear this.
Oh yeah, he can hear.
Oh,
I said, well, the Battlehawks, man. I said it's amazing. St. Louis, they lost a team also. They lost the Rams, and the fans really showed up for the Battlehawks. So I mean, you can say whatever you want about the team. The fans really showed up, and I thought that was amazing. And to be honest, like if you watched any of the games, man, they really showed up. And to be honest, I'm more jealous than anything. I wish my Dragons fans would have came out like the Battlehawks fans did. That would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, hey, we appreciate you joining us. This one over here is going to be turning red, hearing Battlehawks and praise. But Tar, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tar.
And best of
Oh,
luck.
you got to
the
say
Sea
something. You
Dragon.
gotta say
We got the finger up in the air.
Go
What's
ahead.
up, Jay?
Yep.
Go ahead, Jay.
So what I'm going to say is that I agree with you on the Battlehawks. Yes, to be the best, you absolutely have to beat the best, right? And that's what San Antonio's focus should have been on the whole entire time. We brought numbers. We could have done better. This next season, we're definitely going to, and we're going to show the Battlehawks and the XFL who the greatest fan base is. San Antonio Brahmas, baby, let's go.
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks again, Taro. We're gonna go ahead and boot you out of here.
All right.
I'll be reaching out to you afterwards.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. It was a pleasure.
Yes, same here.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tar.
likewise.
Hello.
Hi,
Well,
Jackie.
Oh my
I'm just gonna say it. I don't like Arlington. They suck.
Hey,
So
let's
they the
get-
champions, though,
Let-
man. We gotta
let's
beat
get
them.
this
We gotta
in
take
the
them
book.
down.
so Jay said to be the best, you got to beat the best.
That
And
is
to me-
facts.
yeah,
And Arlington's the
exactly.
best right now.
They're not though. That's DC.
How are they not the best? They just won the championship.
That's DC. They had the best record in the whole league.
They beat
So,
DC.
I want to be able to beat DC next year.
So did Orlando. You can say Orlando's the best? Come
Right.
on, man.
Yeah, and we beat. So in that case, we're the best.
Thank
then, 'cause
you.
We beat Arlington.
Brian,
We
that's my
beat
guy.
Arlington.
That's my
guy.
We
Orlando.
beat
Finally, somebody gonna
Arlington.
step up to this dude.
Time
Man.
out. Time out. We got
Finally,
business.
somebody stepping up to this dude, man. He be only
Wow.
talking all that crap, man.
Yeah.
Arlington is the team to beat right now. We all hate Arlington.
We
but
already beat
we gotta
them.
Hey.
They beat. What I mean is they the team to be. They won a championship game, so we got to take them down. They the defending champions. We got to take them down.
The champion of a league that don't exist no more. Anyways, let's talk
Oh
about
my,
this.
why you got the
trick-or-treat.
gear on then if it don't exist no more? What the hell?
Yeah. Look, I'm right behind a bull. I'm like trying to go around him. Go ahead.
All right, so next week, obviously, as we get closer to Halloween trick-or-treat season, next Thursday, October 26th from 6 to 9 p.m., Your Horns Forward podcast, along with other Brahma super fans, are going to be out at Josabi's Acres in Helotes. It is right off of Bandera Road, past 1604. Beautiful area, as you can see. We're going to have a lot of participation there by Thomas J. Henry, by Texas Roadhouse, by Dave and Buster. So we have a lot of organizations come together. Why? Because we are going to be supporting an organization called Kinetic Kids. And Kinetic Kids is an organization that is dedicated to they create sports opportunities in a sports league for kids with disabilities. I am a parent of a Kinetic Kid child. Very proud. They're teaching them how to swim, and they do great work. And this is our way to just kind of say thank you to them for giving to the community and letting the kids just have a good time. So any fans out there that want to come and join us, we will be out there. We will have a booth handing out candy. If you do come, you don't have to, but if you can, bring candy. We are expecting a pretty big turnout for this. Come dressed how you would to games. Come in your Halloween costume. It doesn't really matter. But just come out ready to have a good time. And Josabi's Acres next Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. We'll be handing out kids. We'll be handing out candy to kids. We're not going to be handing out kids.
You guys.
Handing out kids. What the hell?
I got one I might be willing to hand out every now and then,
So everyone's invited. Bring your kids. And we hope to see you all out there. And it'll just be a great way for us to be able to just engage with the community as a fan base. So I hope to see you guys out there. We'll be out there. Jay's going to come as himself.
Where are you, Jay? Tell us where you're at. You're on mute. Hold on. There you go.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay, what I was going to say was I was going to use this undisclosed location that I'm at because I'm not going to advertise for people for free as a way to segue into this whole, trunk or treat event that we're doing. But now that Jorge took all my thunder, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I'm out here trying to get into the holiday spirit at a certain undisclosed location. By the way, Jorge, I'm just playing around. I'm not actually upset. But I am at an undisclosed location because that is a fact. I don't advertise for free. So you can hear in the background, there's some screaming. There's lots of holiday events, lots of people getting into the Halloween spirit. This is going to be a scary event that I'm at right now, somewhat. But our trunk or treat event is going to be much more fun, much more family friendly. So make sure that you guys are bringing your kids. Come on out, have a great time. As Jorge said, we are going to have a booth. The Horns Forward podcast has been kind enough to set up an area where you can take pictures with all the super fans, hang out with all of us, and give yourselves an opportunity to get to know us a little bit better. Get some free stuff for the kids. Brian BD might be giving away a kid or two. Who knows? But it's going to be an incredible event. So make sure that you guys are marking this on your calendars and that you're out there. All the information should be in the flyer, and I can't wait to see you guys out there this Thursday.
There you go.
Yeah.
Little delay on the audio there. Well, we got you, man. But yeah, so like I said, we hope to see you out there. And then shortly after that event on the 4th, remember. The following weekend, mark your calendars for that Saturday. We're going to be getting together at Smoke Barbecue. More details to come soon, but it's all in the Facebook group. And that's just going to be our own little Brahma's Thanksgiving, getting into the Thanksgiving spirit, a little early. But we'd love to be able to see as many fans as we can out there. And just be thankful that we still have a team and that we've been able to grow a community and friendship and family that remember a year ago, none of us on this podcast knew who the hell each other were. So I still am just shocked by that as far as like, look at how much we're getting together. And yeah, so there you go. November 4th, starting at 5 p.m. I mean, it's 5 to 8, but you can stay later if you want. Just, make sure you get home responsibly. But a little Brahma's giving. And
so it's just a meetup, and we just
this is by the fans, for the fans, just like we did at the very beginning of this year. At Brewster's Ice House.
Been a smoke, so I'm gonna try their brisket. I heard it was pretty good.
Hey, I want to try that Mac Attack sandwich.
And they're a big partner of the Brahmas, so it's good to be able to support another business that has also supported the Brahmas.
Is that brisket mac and cheese?
I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah.
At what he said it was in there, but he said it was a huge sandwich.
Oh, Jay said yeah.
Yeah, it has mac and cheese in it.
Damn, you had it, Jay? Was it good?
Yeah, he says yes.
Yeah, his thumb must be stuck.
We making fun of you.
But
he got his finger up.
Oh, he got his finger up. There you go. There you go.
What we got to say?
Go ahead.
It's really loud where I'm at, so it's hard to hear everything that's going on. But they do have brisket mac and cheese, and it's pretty phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big mac and cheese guy, but that brisket that's in there more than makes up for it. I mean, it is phenomenal stuff. So, DJ, if you show up, I'm trying to run everybody's name through my mind while I'm watching all these scary people run around. DJ, if you show up, I will buy you an order of it.
I'm there, so you might as well get ready.
Okay. Whatever size you want, man, I got you.
You say you love White Castle?
I do love White Castle.
It's good for, it cleanses your insides.
100%.
White Castle?
Yeah, White Castle, it cleans you out. Like if you ever better than Pepto.
Do we have one?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you gotta buy the frozen.
I've never had a legit White Castle.
I'm not buying the frozen stuff.
But ironically enough, the frozen White Castle is just as bad as the real White Castle, and it'll do just the same to you.
Yep. It'll better than Pepto.
Oh my goodness. Yep. Wait, which one you pick?
It's better than Metamucil, man. It'll tear you up, boy.
Wait,
ain't no lie.
Jay, which one you picking? White Castle or Fred's Fish?
Well, we don't have a White Castle here, so it's not. I mean, the frozen isn't the same.
Jay,
Like you
answer
got to
the
have the
question,
whole
Jay.
experience
Which
of
one,
White Castle.
Jay? Jay, which one? White Castle or Fred's?
Well, I mean, I'm not sponsored or anything.
Oh my God!
my
You
God.
did not.
Here,
Well, so he's been to White
I'll
Castle.
tell you.
Yes, that's what I'm
Nobody's
saying.
been
Which
to
one is
Fred's.
better? Which
So-
one's better?
Nobody's been to Fred's Fish Fry and had their fish there.
No,
Nobody's ever been to Fred's.
it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to get cleaned out, White Castle's gonna be the winner. If you're looking to, get a little extra something with your food, Fred's gonna be the winner.
Yeah. If you're looking,
a little bang
if
for
you're
your
looking to
buck.
stay up and party for 3 days, Fred's Fish Fry is the place to go.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Okay. I got one last announcement. Well,
All right, go ahead, go ahead,
semi-announcement. Our guest for next week. Actually, I might
Who
even.
that is?
Pull it up, pull it up, pull it up,
I'm
pull
not
it
even
up, pull it
gonna
up,
say
pull it up, pull it
Y'all
up.
Who that is?
I don't have anything ready. I'm not even gonna say it. Y'all just have to wait till
No,
Monday.
we got one
It
ready.
will be our
It's in,
last.
it's in a group chat. You got one ready. It's in a group chat.
I don't
Who that
know.
is?
All I'm saying
He
is
had a red
that
shirt on. He had a red
we're
shirt on.
We are ending our fan series after the past couple months, which we had so much fun just meeting all the fans around the league. So we are going to end our series next Friday with a special last fan. But yeah, you have to wait till Monday to see it. Sorry.
It's gonna be a surprise. So we gotta post some hints on the page so people could come
Nah.
see.
Nah.
No,
Nah. Y'all just got to wait till Monday.
Yeah, we don't need the police showing up. You know what kind of police I'm talking
I will
about.
say it's a good one, and we're gonna ask a lot of questions too. So
Oh, I got a hint though. Actually, I got a hint. He's
Go
from
ahead.
Dallas. He's from Dallas.
No, you could stop it. Now
That's
you
a hint.
started. All right, we're at the top of the
That's,
hour.
Jay, is that a good hint, Jay? Was that a good hint?
Well, look,
What?
But,
What I'm gonna do?
He from Dallas. The next guest.
I'm gonna
Oh,
I'm gonna start the hip hop music. You know how we do it.
Hold up. I got one last thing I want to.
let's go ahead and shut this down before fish start flying.
I know this has been an all day thing, y'all. Y'all don't even know.
Oh, you got the music in the background?
Yeah, I'm like the Grammys. I'm
She's,
rapping.
she's cutting me off.
Jackson,
Wind
you
it
gotta
up.
sing. You gotta sing.
Wind
Jackie.
it up.
You gotta sing.
All right, look.
Jackie,
one
you
last
gotta
thing
sing, Jackie.
before we go.
Nah.
One last thing before we go. Look,
Give it up, Bills been
Everybody-
paid. Let's go.
look. Everybody who's talking about this merger stuff, any speculation, any rumor that you hear,
Alert.
just know that unless you work for the Department of Justice, the Federal Trade Commission, or are in the senior executive offices of the USFL or XFL, you don't know what's going on.
No
Turn the
comment.
music up. Turn the music up.
Don't know what's going on. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
No
There we
comment.
go. There we go. There we go.
Push forward, you guys.